In the past video regarding the new HydroShift AIOs from Lian Li, I covered the HydroShift LCD 360 TL with TL fans, and I decided that I wanted to go with different AIO as well because we have three options. We have the TL, we have the RGB, and we have the S version. So this is HydroShift LCD 360S, which comes with three P28 fans, and you already saw them in that insane V3000 build that I did. But regardless of that, we have a bit of a different pump and even the block and even this, but the same screen and everything else all together. So this time I'm not going to use AMD for benchmarking. This time we're going to go with Intel, and yeah, it's going to be interesting without a doubt. So what's the difference? There is a bit of a difference when we're talking about the pump, because first what we'll notice is that on the TL version it goes from 1500 to 3200, and here it goes from 2200 to 3800. So there's big of a difference. But even with that, we have different fans, so that's a bit different as well. And we have to mention the specification. So as you already know, the P28 fans, their dimensions are 124 times 120 times 28 millimeters, and the fan speed is 200 to 2500 RPMs. We have fluid dynamic bearing, and airflow is 73.14 CFM. Air pressure is 5 millimeters H2O. Fan noise level at the maximum is 29.8 decibels. And let's go quickly with radiator as well. So radiator dimensions 403 times 124.5 times 27, so 55 millimeters AIO, well, radiator and the fans. And then we go with the pump block top, basically 2.88 inch IPS screen with 480 times 480 pixels, 500 nits brightness, and the block dimensions are 72 times 72 times 59. Pump speed is from 2200, as already stated, to 3800 RPMs, plus minus 10%. There's also a bit of a difference when we're talking about the mounting mechanism, because you do get different screws and different backplate for Intel compared to the TL version. So there's that, but everything is basically the same. So what happens here is that mounting it on Intel, you do need to place the backplate, you do need to place those plastic spacers, and after that thermal paste, you remove the plastic foil from the bottom of the CPU block and just tie up those screws on the CPU block. After that, and the final touch to make it aesthetically pleasing, is the cover for the screws, which is magnetically attached to it. So really not much fuss. The AMD process is the same, and I'll leave it at the end for the TL version, because over there I did cover the AMD mounting mechanism. So really straightforward, everything is really nice. I didn't mention in the last video the plastic that covers the tubes on the other side. So you have the possibility to rotate the tubes because they're under 90-degree angle, and that's fixed, but you can rotate them 360 and place them on the other side. So this gives you an option to use the other plastic that comes, the plastic cover, and you can place it in a couple of different positions. Plus you can also add additional metal plate that will hold the tubes a bit more straightforward. If you can, for instance, push the 360 radiator a bit more to the back, then you'll have a straight line of tubes, and then they'll be going up on top to the radiator. So basically that's it in those terms when we're talking about that. This version is white, so this is why you might have seen this build in that time-lapse video. But what I did there is I actually placed TL fans on this AIO. So yeah, I tried to make it universal when we're talking about the fans, but regardless of that, quite outstanding L-Connect new features present, and I hope they will expand it soon more. You get more stuff in terms of being able to put 4 sensors on the screen record, and automatically reproducing it directly to the LCD, which is outstanding as well. You could, I don't know, create your own clip or something like that. And yeah, I mean, I'm quite satisfied. Now, comparing the TL to this one, TL has one cable, I think it's, no, 2 cables. One is for the PWM and for the pump, and one is for the LCD screen, plus it has some sort of a splitter that connects to the TL fans. This way you connect that connector directly to the controller, because you do get a controller for the TL fans. And from the controller, of course, you have to go SATA, USB, and I think there's one, PWM and addressable RGB directly to your motherboard. So if you desire, you can push the L-Connect to synchronize the colors and the RPMs to the motherboard. Here we have a different story. You do still have the PWM for the pump, but you get a different cable. You get a cable that splits into PWM male connector. I'll tell you why quite shortly. Then we have SATA, and finally, of course, USB 2.0 to connect it to a motherboard and to get the signal towards it. So the PWM male connector is designed to actually connect the P28s directly to the pump, and that's it. So you don't have to add additional connectors, you don't have to use up additional PWM connectors on your motherboard. You just simply connect it to that cable and that's it. The cool thing, as well as the TL version, the S version has it as well, and I presume the RGB, you get two tube clips, which from one side they hold the tubes, as you can see, straightforward and the way you want. On the other side they have two smaller clips which are designed to hold the cables running out of the pump block top, which kind of does look outstandingly clean. Unfortunately, the one thing that is missing in the whole all of this scenario is the holder for, or a clip for, the PWM cable, but it's too thin to be able to manage it as such. So yeah, it's quite alright, you can manage it and do something, fiddle around cable management and hide it somehow. But regardless of that, another cool AIO, but let's check the performance. So in this configuration right here, so we have 3140 at the bottom, we have 3140 on the side, 3120 on the AIO and 2120 at the back, so 6 intakes and 5 exhausts. We're talking here about MSI Pro Z790A Max Wi-Fi. Then we have Intel Core i7 14700K and the RTX 4080 Super. CPU went up to 68 degrees and the clock speed was constantly at 5500 MHz. GPU went up to 67. Now when we go to Cinebench R23, it starts at 75 degrees, lowers down at 74 and then just keeps on going at 75 with constant clock speed at 5500 MHz. Now the results are somewhere close to 30k. So we have first run 29,675, then it jumps to above 30,000 up to 367, then we have 77, and then everything is around 29,600. I would say because of these three benchmarks that went really close or above 30,000, I would say that some sort of an average is 29,800, maybe 900, something like that, which is outstanding, of course. But all in all, I would say that these new AIOs really do perform outstandingly good. The TL version proved that, and without a doubt the S version does that as well. Really loving the LCD screen because it's really, it doesn't have to be big if you have the possibility to adjust everything that you need, and plus if you really want to have more information on it, you can have up to four different sensors to be placed on it, and it looks really cool. You can actually see the picture at the back. So you can go with CPU temperature, GPU temperature, CPU load and GPU load. Even though if you go with TL fans, I mean, you can go with GIFs, that's it, yeah, or pictures or MP4 or whatever, you can really do wonders. So yeah, black and white, as I already stated in the TL version, you can really combine everything. If you're more into performance when we're talking about the fans, even though the TL fans are also outstandingly good. So yeah, big thumbs up to Lian Li for doing such an incredible job when we're talking about aesthetically pleasing products, and basically giving us an option to even go further with customization in terms of out of the box placement, tubes, hidden, minimal design. Outstanding, really loving it. The only way that you could reach this type of clean look is if you go with a custom loop, but then you have loads of tubes. I know, I love it, I have it at the back, so yeah, it's a completely different story. But yeah, just giving ideas. And that's it. The link for the HydroShift LCD 360S black and white version is in the description below, and additionally I'll place all others, so the RGB and the TL version, so you can check out those if you want to compare the price and see the performance difference and stuff like that. It's all up to you finally to decide. Now there's more content coming, of course, tomorrow and the day after and the day after that, and so on and so on. So don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, click the notification bell, because it keeps the channel rolling, and hopefully I will see you in another one. Thanks, bye bye.